So, hello everybody. My name is Khayyum or Ruben, and I'm one of the facilitators today. But before we get started, I want to, well, first, welcome to our peer-to-peer mental health workshop where youth is resources. Before we get into who we are and what our names are, I'd like to do a check-in with you all. I can't see chat again. Never mind, I got it. Would you like cameras on? There's a activity where we will ask you to turn it on. You don't need to show your face if you don't want to, but it's totally up to your preference. You're good. Um, so before we get started, I want to do a little check-in. Um, this one is called Rosebud Thorn. So what we want to do is give an example for each. So like rose is something that's something good that's going on in your life right now. Bud is something that you're working on, and then thorn is something going not so well. So I'll get started. Rose, my work, I feel like I'm in a better place with work right now. I'm happier. Just like looks like I have enough work to like work all day. I feel like I'm doing something instead of just sitting around the house, so it's making me feel better. Bud, something that I'm working on. Uh, it's time management in my sleep schedule because it's a little weird at the moment. Um, okay. Um, Liz Noel, that's cool. And Thorn, something not going so well. Um, I'm not eating very healthy foods, and I should be. So, yeah. And like I said, my name's Khayyum or Ruben, whichever one you prefer. I don't know if everyone wants to go, but we can open the floor up for enough people to go. So, somebody want to go next?
I can go.
Hmm.
Hello, my name is Jameer Queen. I'm a senior at the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, and I'm also representing the Healing Youth Alliance and Heart Smiles MD. A rose would be that I got into my dream school. I got into Virginia State, so I'm really happy about that.
Nice.
I just have to find a scholarship. My bud, I'm just trying to really stay consistent in everything I do and continue to like focus on myself. And it's been a little troubling, but it's working out. So, and my thorn would be that's something that's not going well. Maintaining my other activities I'm doing, my internship, school, and trying to go to the gym. It's a little bit much, but it's gonna all work out. So
Nice. Congratulations. Big things. Does anybody want to go next? Oh, somebody's in chat. I see Rose. I got to watch a live stream and I liked it. Bud, my grades and studying. Thorn, time management. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
All right, I will go next. Well, first, my rose is I have two roses. My first rose is I started school back up. I attend Morelia State University, so I really miss school, and I have some pretty cool classes. My second rose is that I get to be with all of you today. My bud is that I really want. I'm a photographer. I really want to take pictures outside, but it's just so cold. So I'm trying to work out. I don't know if I'm gonna wear gloves, but the snow is low key melting, so I gotta work something out. Um, my thorn is definitely time management. I'm trying to do better with my homework assignments and stuff like that, and try and attempting to study. So I gotta work on that. All right. Rube, should I popcorn it, or if anybody
Um,
feel comfortable to go,
yeah, if
just
anybody wants to, like I said, you all don't have to go. It's fine.
I can go next. Uh, I'm one of the facilitators that y'all will have today. My name is Micaiah Spell. And the roles that I have is I have two new classes. One, I really like both of them. One is event planning, and the other is moving image, where I will be working with videography. A bud is working on scholarships for college, and a thorn right now is getting this essay done I have for my English class because it's like I have writer's block and I cannot finish this essay. And anyone could go next.
If not, um, we will move right along. So I'm gonna next we're gonna go into the intro to YAR, just to let you all know a little bit about who we are. So as I said, my name is Khayyum Ruben. Currently I am the adult president of YAR's board of directors as well as the task force and administrative manager. So YAR is a youth-led grant-making organization. We're run by a board completely comprised of youth, ages like, well, like full range of ages are like 14 to 24. Not sure how old our youngest member is at the moment, but yeah, we give grants to other youth-led organizations or projects. Um, as well as working on some issues outside of grant making. We have an issue agenda that the board adopts every year. So we do work around mental health. That's why we're here today. One of the reasons we're here. Supporting efforts around youth homelessness, school police accountability, and school climate. And what's the other one? Disability awareness and inclusion. Um, so that's a little bit about us. I'm gonna go next into our agenda. So here's what we have planned today. Hello and welcome, which we're finishing up now, and then a little game called Making Connections with music. That's the one where we'll have you like turn your cameras on if you want. Well, we need you to, but like you can like point it to the ceiling. We're gonna do a little role play slash scenario game, and then talk about some signs of anxiety and depression, and then talk about some mental health resources, and then we'll close out. Um, so next is our game, little icebreaker, making connections. Justice.
All right, so let's do this. Y'all ready? All right, y'all. So this is called making connections with music. All right. So now the first step is everyone turn the cameras off. Bam, you're gonna turn your camera off like this. Second, we're gonna name an artist. Okay. Now we want to relate, with you all, and we want to know, some things about you all. So we're going to name an artist, and if you like or listen to that artist, you're going to turn your cameras on. Uh, and also, if you don't want us to see your face, just like how Rube said, you can. Let me see. I got my laptop. Let's see if I can do this. All right, you can do that. You do that wherever you want to do. You know, if you want to hide your beautiful faces, you can definitely do that as well. Um, all right, so I'm about to do like a little role play, so you can know. Let's say, all right, so all y'all have your cameras off, right? I love J. Cole. J. Cole, that's my man's right there. So let's say I say, oh girl, I said, okay, we in it. I see. Oh, see. I wasn't expecting it. Look, y'all already catching on. Excuse me. Let me stop talking. All right. So y'all already know what to do practically. So once when I have my camera on and stuff like that, since like I already went, I'm gonna keep my camera on, and whoever related to me first, who I see who turns their camera on, I'm gonna pick you. So let's say I say, bam, Micaiah, right? Micaiah is gonna go now. Since I pick her, she has to keep her camera on, and once when she name an artist that she likes, of course, if y'all like it, y'all gonna put on an artist. And once when she picks on you, bam, you have to keep, your camera on. The goal is to have everybody else's cameras on, so because we all made connections. All right, y'all got it. All right, so I'm gonna start off. We don't have as much time as we want. All right, bro, my bad. So let us speed. Let me go to the gallery. Can I go to the gallery? I'm trying to exit full screen. All right, guys. So, all right. So, like J. Cole. Where my people's at? Where my people's at? All right. I believe I don't want to say it wrong. Jamira?
Yes, Jamira. Jamira.
Jamira. I'm sorry. Jamira, I see you.
Yes. All right. Okay, and then I just pick a song, artist. Okay, yes. Jermaine, he's driving tomorrow on the 5th. Well, with Friday, but Giveon. Anybody like Giveon? No? Black? Anybody like Black?
I like black. I turned mine on.
Okay.
um, let me see. Drake. Yeah. Jules, I see you talking. I'm not sure if you're talking to us though.
I'm trying to get 10% here.
Oh. Once y'all turn your cameras on, you can just keep them on. I think Micaiah was the first person to go, so go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the last artist I listen to right now. I guess 21 Savage. I don't know if anybody else turned their camera on.
No, I don't think so.
Hey, Rube, can you stop sharing your screen just so we can get the gallery view?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
There we go. That's perfect.
Sorry. Another artist?
My computer, my internet is messed up.
I'll just go. Billie Eilish. I think she froze. Anybody listen to Billie Eilish? Trying to name like just the artists that come to the top of my head. Nobody?
You know what?
No, I saw
I'm gonna help
Jaren.
you out. I'm gonna help you out, bro. All right. Let's say, all right, Marvin Gaye. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Don't disrespect a legend now. Miss Julie, I saw you first.
You're muted.
You on mute.
I keep my video on. All right.
Yeah.
Young Moose. I love Coop.
Oops.
I think I saw Coop go first.
Miss Julie, I was not expecting that one. That was good.
Coop, we miss you.
Hey now, I'm a MJ, Michael Jackson, baby. Everybody like Mike. Yeah, Miss Davenport.
Whitney Houston. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mr. Cooper.
Somebody else want to give an artist, or we wanna? I wasn't sure who went next. Sorry, I stopped paying attention to the cameras for a second.
Oh yeah. All right. So we kind of pressed for time, but Mr. Coop, can you name another artist that you might like? Oh no, wait, no. I'm sorry. You said Michael Jackson. All right. So who was the first person you saw? Who turned their cameras on?
It was me.
Miss Davenport.
It was you. All right. So.
All right. I'm gonna say Bruno Mars.
That's not bad.
I think I saw. Was it Harry?
Yeah, I can name an artist. Taylor Swift.
I just like turn my camera on and off.
All right. I'm sorry. I was having so much fun. I wish we could go a little bit longer, but that concludes the game. You know, we've made so many connections, and those, who didn't fully get to play, I'm so, glad that you got to participate. All right. So you can start sharing your screen now, bro.
Oh, whoops.
All right. All right. Next slide. This baton. Where is the baton gonna go? All right. So I got this slide too, right?
Yes.
All right. So I just want to let you know within the exercise. Now I'm about to give you some suggestions with stress coping strategies. All right. So now, what in the lives of Baltimore youth causes stress and slash or trauma? This is my first question. It's not a rhetorical question. I really want to know what in the lives of Baltimore youth causes stress slash or trauma. You can put it in the chat, or of course you can speak your mind and unmute yourself.
I feel like living in Baltimore my whole life, it's just like we're surrounded by it every day. And then, we watch it on the news, we see it on the news, and then like they're talking about it for one moment, and then the next it's over with. But when we hear about a school shooting across the country, we don't hear about it, but we hear about it, but when there's something in our community, we don't really hear about it because we're living through it on a daily. And I forget like the a large cause of stress is like the fact that we're like the forgotten. If you really think about it, like everything that we go through is kind of forgotten because people have developed it as the norm, and it's just like we're living where it has became a part of our life and our everyday life. So it's like, yeah.
Man,
Can I talk next?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
I feel like a lot of us youth, we're dealing with the issues of our past generations. So like, there's been like a lot of issues that our parents had to deal with. They have like these high expectations for us to be better than them, and it's like, bruh, how are you going to expect me to be better than you when I don't have all the keys and all the tools to do so? Or even like the experience, I can't go off of your experience. I have to create my own experience in life and figure things out for myself in order to figure out what works. If you didn't figure it out what works, then how am I to?
That was heavy. I felt that. That was really heavy. Thank you so much for sharing that. Uh, I'm looking in the chat. I hope I get your name right. I want to say Demetrius.
Yeah, you can just say Miss Thomas. It's fine.
Okay, thank you, Miss Thomas. All right, so Miss Thomas says violence and aggression is normalized. That is absolutely right. Very true.
Yeah, just to chime in a little bit on just why I put that. I'm of course significantly older than you all as the young people, but I worked with the you all, your population, your age group for the last 14 years. And what I've seen just in the schools and just in the community is like the glorifying of like these YouTube fight videos and over a period of time. And it's like everybody thinks that that's cool to do. And so when you're faced with that situation head on, your natural reaction is, I don't want to look like a punk to my friends, so I'm gonna fight too. You know what I mean? When naturally that may not be who you are, but you're submerged in that culture so that you learn the aggression and you learn to fight early on.
All I'm hearing is facts. I see. Let me. All right. For real? All right. So Audrey says unemployment. That's very true. Jamira says, but where can they start? Right. All right, guys. So the next question is, what are some positive ways? What are some positive, negative, and slash or neutral do youth deal with stress and trauma? This is the question right here. Anything positive, that we can cope with? What are the negative things? Of course, with the good, we got to take the bad, or some neutral ways. I
Um,
want to hear from you. Hmm.
I'm a sorry, I keep chiming in. I'm an artist here in Baltimore City. I sing, I play percussion, I write poetry, all that good stuff. So one way that I've noticed like a lot of youth have coped with these situations is by going into art, picking up a hobby, picking up something that they love to do, and just doing it. I feel like now this our generation is the generation of visionaries. We pick something up and we're like, all right, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. And that's one of the positive ways that we cope with stress. That's how I cope with stress. I can't speak for everybody.
And like, and for me, I feel like I a positive way that I cope with, and a lot of people in my circle, instead of like being like complaining about it, like make a change about it and just sit at the table and have those conversations and like develop an understanding. That's like a positive way of thinking. Because when you change your understanding about it, you can like eventually influence people around you and from there just build. So
Miss Thomas says the outlets youth create with themselves through their talents like sports, music, poetry, and dance. Definitely, our city is definitely amongst the talented. We are very creative, especially the ways how we deal with stress. Is there any other positive or negative? Don't forget the bad parts. We gotta take the good with the bad.
some substance abuse is like one negative.
Hmm.
But you see that
Yeah.
Um, I work at Springboard Community Services, and like we get a lot of youth and just people in general that deal with stress by um, causing pain to themselves.
Mm.
Like they're like, oh well, I can't express how I feel, so I need to feel it some type of way, whether it's cutting themselves, whether it's just attempting to commit suicide, like dealing with it. That's one way to deal with it negatively, and I think that that's one thing that we could like speak on.
oh, I got
Um. All right. Thank you so much, y'all, for everything that you've added to the table. Now last question. How can we support each other? We name the positives, the bads, now how can we come together? How can youth help each other?
I don't know. I'm obviously an old person, right? But I have to remember to check in with people. And so I think sometimes just checking in with the people in our lives can be supportive with no agenda.
Jamira says in the chat, through healing, center engagement, and re-entering our focus. That was a deep one.
recentering. Yeah, I was saying like recentering our focus through mentorship, social media, and just finding things that we love. And once you have that representation, you can just have things to look forward to and just have a whole different outlook on life. That's another way you can heal.
Mm. Audrey says in the chat, being there for them. All right, yeah, I don't got my glasses. Miss Thomas said, being our brother and sister's keeper, encouraging positivity and checking each other in constructive ways when we are wrong through love, through listening and supporting. Guys, these were wonderful answers. I would love to really keep on touching on this topic, but I have to pass it to my girl Temperance. Wait, hold up, Temp. Uh, uh, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but it is someone said in the chat, it is important that adults be genuine. If adults are genuine, teens won't talk or listen. Period. Tep, I'm passing it to you.
Thank you, Justice. I'm sorry for those of you who didn't get the pleasure to hear me introduce myself because I was a little late. My name is Temperance. I am 19 and I am the adult secretary slash treasurer of Youth Resources I'm also on the task force board, and we're about to be doing a quick little activity called role play. Gonna be doing a quick little scenario, and I'm gonna ask one of the participants if y'all would like to read the first scenario out.
I
If
can read
not,
the scenario. You
okay.
are a student sitting in class. It's been a normal day so far, but you see one of your classmates seems to be stressed out. As the teacher enters, you also notice they are angry. They are aggressive when talking to the class and throughout the class are demanding that students answer questions and participate. When the teacher singles out your classmate that appears to be stressed out, they get angry, curse at the teacher, and walk out of the classroom.
Thank you. And does anybody know if there's any good things or bad things that somebody did wrong in this scenario between the student and the teachers?
I would say this Miss Thomas, the teacher singling out the classmate in front of the peers when they obviously have identified that they're stressed out in some capacity.
Mhm.
They're noticing the signs, but then they continue to make it worse by singling them out versus just waiting till after class to pull them out to the side and not embarrassing them.
All right.
For
Go
me,
ahead.
I feel like another one is just like I see this too often in school and everything. Teachers confuse like students who are stressed out or angry or just not saying anything with them being defiant or just them not wanting to participate at all. But they forget that we live in a city that's so trauma filled and just so filled with so many different things. And we've been also triggered to never express our emotions. And sometimes that those things can be felt, those things can come off as you being angry or someone like acting out, and the teachers confuse that, and then they just like think that they're being like defiant, and they could have just like let them leave them alone and then address them separately outside of the classroom, but that builds a whole different type of thing. And yeah, I'm just shut up.
No, you was going in. You was really making the point there. That's really neglected in society nowadays. A lot of people don't think of students as very emotional people that it's hard to open up. They just see kids that's not listening and they be just trying to do what they want to do. Anybody else want to add on to something they seen that went wrong in this scenario?
I also think something that went very wrong to me is the teacher coming in angry and kind of taking out that aggression on their students, because that all should be like left at the door. Like when you go in to be an educator, like you can't let those like feelings of anger come out on your students, because that's unfair to them and then worsens the situation of like demanding things from them when they're already stressed out with all of the pressures of school and life and trauma and the buildup.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there anything other students could do to support that student in that situation?
I was just about to say that.
I feel like other students, like maybe if someone's getting the teacher's answering or asking a question or something, the other student could just like raise their hand or just like kind of like jump in and take their light off it. Because sometimes situations like that, it can kind of like start an argument and all that. But if another student like raises their hand, be like, I got it, I can take over. But it all depends on the teacher, because a lot of the teachers are not trained to work with the students that they're working with. They're coming from these high up schools without really knowing what it's like to teach a city school student. So
Interesting.
That was nice. Um, so is there anything that could have went differently in this scenario that could have changed a lot?
I would say the teacher just being real from the beginning. Like, we're human, everybody has a bad day, right? So the teacher need one to check in with themselves to be able to say, hey class, I'm not having the best day myself, so in order for us to you know not have a bad day, me take my frustrations out on you all, we're going to format the class a little bit different today. It's okay to switch it up and have a moment and be a realness and with your students and say, hey, we're going to do this instead of our regular routine today. And maybe some of the things that are done in the class are the regular routine, but it's just not enough, not as much lecturing or talking back and forth so that the teacher can remain in check with themselves and not, transfer it on to the students.
That's a really good suggestion. I feel like that would take a little bit of humbling just from the teacher side, because I feel like they'd be like, they can't act like that because they're the teacher. They gotta be like higher up more than the students. But I feel like that's a really good way to go about it, just to improve like the class, like climate.
Yep. And it also starts with building a rapport with your students. You can't come in, you all are human. You know what I mean? You deserve to be heard, listened to, and all of those things just like we do. So it's not like the teacher is the know all, end all, be all. Yes, they're the instructor. They come with a certain level of knowledge, but to truth be told, I've learned a ton of information from my youth that I've served over the years just by listening and validating.
Anybody else have anything to add on to what could have been different in this scenario? If not, we can move on.
So I'm just for the sake of time, we only have like 45 minutes for the whole session. I'm gonna skip the next scenario if that's okay, Empress.
Okay.
45 minutes is not enough time for all these good discussions. I'm sorry, y'all, but I will post them. Like, I don't know if you guys know where that is, but there's like a discussion or topic session on the Hoover app or website. I'll post some questions there so you guys can continue this afterwards. But we're gonna skip that and go into our anxiety and depression talk. That sounds depressing, but Micaiah, I think.
Yep. So, hello again. How do you know if you are anxious? What are the signs? Shamira in the chat said second guessing, shaking.
I think a lot of the time it could come off as frustration. It comes off as frustration, and most times like we don't you don't notice that it's more than just that. It's really just anxiety. Like I know my dad, whenever we have like events and stuff, he gets real nervous and it comes off like he's real angry, but it's not that he's angry, he's just nervous about what's going on.
The second guessing one's good. I didn't like thinking back, I do second guess myself a lot, but I don't like catch it as like anxiety. That's good to think about.
I also I like overthinking in the chat. That was really good. I know that, when I have anxiety, I might be like overthinking, I always overthink, but when I overly overthink, that's the problem.
What did you say, Justice?
Oh, I said like overthink it in the chat. I really like that because, I usually overthink, but when like I overthink, that'll make sense. But matter of fact, Jimmy Neutron, when he says think, that's way too much anxiety and that's too much overthinking for me. So that's me when I have anxiety. My brain goes to every, y'all watched it.
Thought about Jimmy Neutron in forever. That's crazy.
When I feel anxious, I can't take in information. And I think sometimes like for teachers or other people in authority, when there are people that you're working with that are anxious, you think maybe they're not listening, but they might be anxious so they can't take in information because they're already filled up.
My palms start sweating. My sister, her palms sweat. And one time she was taking a test and like she put her hands down for a second just to think, and it just started dripping, and like it created like a small little puddle around her. It was, anyway, my hands sweat when I get nervous or anxious.
Okay, so next question. What does the term social anxiety mean to you? Do you think this is a problem with some teens?
It's a problem to me. I'm gonna just start that off. I have really bad social anxiety. I've gotten a little better at it because of my job with like facilitating, like this training and stuff. But outside of my job, like I'm not social at all. So, and I guess what it means is just like not being social, like just feeling anxiety when there's like a social situation, like pretty much anything. Like I used to I have my phone on vibrate now, and it's been on vibrate for the past 2 years, I think. It's one of the best decisions I made because every time I heard my phone ring, I felt, how do I explain it? Kind of like a wave of anxiety when it rang because I just didn't want to talk on the phone. So having it on vibrate just helped. Yeah.
To answer your question of what social anxiety is I would say feeling a boatload of pressure in situations where you're not just by yourself. When you're amongst, it doesn't even have to be a whole bunch of people. When you're amongst a couple of people, or even just one-on-one conversations, um, that's what I think social anxiety is.
Do anyone else want to answer this question before I move on to the last one? Okay. Have you ever thought one of your friends were depressed, and why did you think that?
I noticed one of my friends was like depressed and everything when like at school she was like my friend she's like really girly and when she stopped like everyone has their days where they're not don't feel like getting ready and all that but once you like see a pattern and just like her mood change and just like her not like doing everything that she used to do, that's when I really noticed. And it's just like her like separating herself and started to become more isolated from just me. And like that's my person I call like every day for everything. And once I saw that in school, I was just like, "Oh, are you okay?" So
I say, for me, I noticed when my friend was depressed is when he lost his smile, and we would link up, of course, in school and everything, and even outside of school, and like we would like have fun, and there would be laughter and everything, and when he started to put his chin down instead of looking somebody in the eye, or like just the way he walked or like the way he talked, I noticed that after him and his ex, had broke up, he was never the same. And that was like 4 years ago.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say I notice sometimes it's like not noticeable for certain people. Like I know I stay really high energy when I'm around friends, when I'm around family, and even like just sometimes at work. So like my energy is always at like 105. And so like when I do get in a place of depression, most times people can't tell because I'm just like regular. I'm not at 105, but I'm at 75, which is where normal most people are. Nobody's normal, sorry. Which is where like some people are. So like it's not always noticeable. Um, but sometimes when it does come to certain people, it is. And like you can tell in their dress and their speech and the way they just handle themselves on a regular day basis.
okay. We are
Um,
definitely running out of time, so
yeah.
move on.
Sorry about that, y'all. We had so much to talk about. But here's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I'm gonna post the rest of these like discussion questions in like the topic section on Hoover. But before y'all leave, I want to share these resources that we have. Oh my goodness, so many slides. Um, yeah, yeah. Here's a list of just a few resources that we've come up with since we started our mental health stuff. This is our first year doing it, so the list is still growing. Um, here we have like here to help hotline, youth crisis hotline. There's the Trevor Project number, um, as well as a few other things you can do if you like have any of these like symptoms or signs that we talked about today. Um, this workshop was kind of just to start the conversation about like just around different issues for mental health. So yeah, thank you all for being here.